Okay, here we are, and we're at Davenport Gap. This is the very limit of the Smoky Mountains, and so we're just going to be hiking right into them. It's going to be a rigorous trip here, and we're going to get a lot of mileage done. And so we just had a ride that dropped us off here, and we're ready for a fun and exciting 8-day hike into the Smoky Mountains. Looking forward to it?
Yes.
This is going to be our biggest hike ever. Well, we're spending the night tonight at the top of Cosby Knob Mountain. It's been a real rigorous trip getting up here because we actually climbed 3,000 feet in elevation today, starting out from around just under 2,000 feet, and now we're just under 5,000 feet. So it's been a rigorous trip, but it's been very fun and enjoyable, and we're just looking forward to continuing this tomorrow. And this is right here is the shelter that we're staying in for the night. And as you can see, they have all these bear cables. You have to hang your food up so the bears won't get it, because they sure will if you leave it on the ground. This place is just infested with bears. But right now we're on the border between Tennessee and North Carolina, and we're really looking forward to continuing our hike tomorrow. It's been a really great hike so far. See you tomorrow. Well, it's morning time now, and we're setting out again on the trail. We had a good night's rest at the Peck's Quarter shelter last night, and now we're heading out again on the trail. We have several more mountains to cross today, and we're going to end up at the top of Mount Collins, where we'll be spending the night. So it's going to be another good hike today, about 16 miles. Wow, it's a beautiful foggy morning here on the Smoky Mountains. We're just seeing the smoke rise up from the Smoky Mountains, and all the way down there you can see the fog is very thick. There's many mountain ranges over there, but you can't see them. But this is just a very breathtaking area because you just see the fog blowing in, and it makes an amazing atmosphere. Okay, now we've made it to the top of Clingman's Dome. This is the highest elevation on the Appalachian Trail through the Smokies, and we're just really happy to have made it up here. And it's 6,600 feet, which is very tall by Appalachian Trail standards, but you can see they have that huge tower up there, so we're going to climb up that now. Glad to have made it up here. Yes. It's going to be a great time. Well, as you can see, the Smoky Mountains are really living up to their name today. This whole area is just covered in this really big fog, and the wind is really blowing, so it looks a lot like smoke. So, you can see all around this observation tower. This is the highest point in this area, and this observation tower goes really way up. So we climbed up here and now we're looking at the plaques.
I was looking at my
There's a bear! Wow!
Thing.
You got the answer to your
I was
prayer.
showing the wrong things. That's the real bear.
Yeah!
I was looking at his stump or something for some reason. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, we got up all bright and early in the morning, but guess what we have to hike in today? It's called Spontaneously Falling Droplets of Atmospherically Produced, Gravitationally Driven Liquidized H2O. Of course, we've got lots of miles to hike today, so we definitely can't let a little rain hold us back. It's time to head 'em up and move 'em out, right into the storm. Here we go. Alright, ready to go?
Yeah.
Here we go. Well, it's been a really intense morning of hiking. We've been hiking in the rain for several hours now, and we finally found a shelter to take refuge here for lunch, and so we're really glad to finally have a roof over our head. But it's just been really intense out there because we've been hiking along all these really muddy trails, and you have to be extremely careful so that you don't slip and fall on those long downward muddy descents. But the worst part, of course, was going down those huge boulders. Those are slippery enough when it's not wet, but when those are wet, then you have to be extremely careful that you don't fall, because there you could easily break some bones. But we've all made it back without breaking any bones, and we're all safe and sound here, ready to eat our lunch. And we found out that waterproof gear can only keep you dry for the first 5 minutes, and then after that you get soaked to the bone even if you do have waterproof gear. But we're just really glad to be taking refuge here. And then after we're done eating lunch, we're going to head out, right out into the storm for another 4 or 5 hours of slipping and sliding in the mud. So this is going to be a real day to remember. Well, here's the shelter where we're going to be spending the night tonight. We're really glad to have made it here, and unfortunately I wasn't able to take any pictures of the trail today because it was pouring down rain pretty much the whole time we were hiking, and of course I don't have a waterproof camera. But we're really glad to have made it here, and all our clothes were completely soaked and our boots were full of water, but now we have everything just hanging up in there and drying out, so we'll be ready in the morning to hit the trail again. Wow, behind
see
here,
the mama bear?
it's a whole bunch of bears. Little cubs.
Don't get any closer than that.
They're hiding behind that tree. You said there's 3 bear cubs and a mama bear?
I think there are 2 and a mom.
Wow. Down there's a deer. Okay, we're right outside of the Smoky Mountains now. We're here at Fontana Dam, and we're just really glad to be done with that stretch of the trail. We still have 30 more miles to do before we get to where we parked our car at the Nantahala Gorge in western North Carolina. But for now, we're done with the Smokies, and we're really glad to have come so far. And it's been a really beautiful trip so far. So in just 2 more days, we'll be completely done with our hike. Well, tonight's our last night staying here on the Appalachian Trail because tomorrow we're going to be finishing up our hike. So we're staying in our tents now, and as you can hear, it's raining outside, so we're real glad to be in here. But tomorrow we'll just be finishing up our hike, and we'll be heading to where our car is. So it's been a really great trip. Well, it's our last day on the trail now. we're all just packing up now. We just packed up our tents, and it's been a really long night of rain, but as you can see, the sun is starting to poke through the clouds. So we're very excited about this last day of our hiking trip, and we're going to be hiking all the way up to Bald, which will be a good climb from here, but then after that we'll be descending many thousands of feet all the way down into the Nantahala Gorge where our car is parked. So this is going to be a great hike today, and we'll be concluding this great trip we've had in the Appalachian Mountains.
Last day. All right. Praise God.
Here we go. And now we've made it at last to the top of Bald. This is our last major peak of this trip we've had on the Appalachian Trail. It was a really intense climb getting up here, but now that we've made it up here, then we're just going to have a long climb down, because we're right above 5,000 feet now, and by this afternoon then we're going to have descended all the way down to about 1,700 feet, which is the elevation of the Nantahala Gorge. So we're really glad to have made it up here, and we're taking our last good peek at the mountains.
And Daniel Lanford led us to the top of our last peak. I'm proud of you, son.
Thank you.
And now at last, we've made it to our final destination. We are here at last. After 100 or more miles of intense hiking, we have gone through the Appalachian Mountains and made it all the way here, back to our car. This can mean only one thing. We have successfully completed our journey. Are you excited?
Hallelujah!
Yay! We made it at last. This is just great. Now we can go home back to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, since we've successfully completed our journey. I hope you have enjoyed this official production of LanfordFamiliProductions.com. For more information on our products, resources, and events, please visit our website at www.LanfordFamiliProductions.com. Until next time, I'm your host, Stephen Lanford. Thank you for joining our show. 100 miles later, the end. See you soon. Goodbye.